Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope. I am the senior pastor of New Life Christian Center located at 400 Hillcrest Avenue in Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. So if you're ever in our area, we invite you to come and worship with us. We invite you to come and experience a better quality of life. And if you're not in our area, you can tune in for our Sunday sermon on our Facebook channels and on YouTube at New Life Christian Center Pastor Pope on YouTube. And so today, as always, we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, live in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. It begins as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water, this is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, and those of you that donate through the contribution pages on our website at NewLifeInternationalCDC.com. Those of you that use the QR code or the link provided on Facebook and YouTube or Zelle that we are now using on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We thank all of you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. And that is the reason that we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So let me just say to all of our listeners and viewers, first of all, be reminded of this. We want to be connected with you throughout the week. So we want to make certain that you are tuned in to our internet radio station. Wherever you are across the U.S. and wherever you are around the globe, you can tune in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at WKAPfaith.com. We play music right there 24 hours a day that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. So we want to be connected with you throughout. So just stay tuned in again at WKAPfaith.com. And I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers that we are back in with our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist. So Becca was with us the second Friday of this month due to some scheduling issues I had. But she will be back with us, scheduling permitted, the first Friday of every month. So that will again occur in May. You do not want to miss the information that Becca shares with us. It is going to enhance all of our health and wellness. It's going to make certain that we all are whole in our body, mind, and spirit. So tune in right here on 3D, the Daily Divine Direction. I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that your sister has not had the same success that you have experienced. And you said she's always asking you for money, and then your mother guilts you into giving it to her. You sometimes tell her no, and then she calls your mother, and your mother guilts you into giving it to her. Telling you how difficult it is for your sister and that you should be more loving. And you shared some things, but the reality is this. You can only be guilty of your success if you allow yourself success guilt. And I'm going to tell you what that means, because from time to time I hear people talk about how, family members make you feel guilty about your success. And I know what that looks like. So let me say this to you. First of all, you don't have to allow anyone to make you feel guilty about your success. And the reason that I'm going to say that to you is because, think about it this way. When you come from a specific family, you have the same DNA, you grew up in the same environment, you all have had the opportunity to make choices in your life. And we all make choices. Sometimes the power of our choices will determine our success or the lack thereof, or the level of success that we are able to achieve. But no one can make you feel guilty about your success unless you allow them. And here's what I mean by that. We all go our own way in life when we become adults. And we make these decisions that will sometimes accelerate our success, or they will diminish our success. Your sister has had the same opportunities you've had. She's just made different choices. One of the things you have to learn to do, and your mother will have to learn to do, is allow her to live out the results of her choices. God is doing something in her life, and you're interfering when you are intervening. Your sister doesn't have the same career you have. She doesn't make the money that you make. She is working part-time. She has children. She's not married. You have a husband, and even though you haven't gotten married yet, you haven't had any children yet, you're married. So now you have two household incomes. You got to look at the dynamics. Everyone's story is not going to be exactly the same, because God is doing something in all of our lives. He's doing what He wants to do in each of our lives. What we don't want to do is interfere with what God is doing. So you have to take a step back and you have to say, okay, God, this is what you're doing. I'm going to be still. I'm not going to interfere. And you can't allow your mother to guilt you into that either. You have to tell her, listen, she's going to have to work a little harder. She's going to maybe have to go back to school. She's going to... Everyone makes choices. And we all have to live with the results or the consequences of our choices, because our choices have power. But you don't need to feel success guilt. You have completed your education, you've gotten a good career, you've gotten into a good career, you have been working diligently, you are doing everything that God requires of you. Now you're married, you and your husband are both on the success path. You've got to recognize that God's doing something in you. Now, this is an example to your sister what she's capable of accomplishing. But she uses her children as an excuse for why she's not successful. She's finding every reason not to be successful, as opposed to putting the work in that's necessary to be successful. And then she's asking you for money because now you have money that you've been saving, and now you're married, so now you and your husband are saving, but you're saving for a purpose. She's spending money that's not for a purpose. It's for pleasure. And so I'm going to ask everyone to pardon me. I'm suffering with my allergies today. And so you've got to get out of the way. And what eventually will happen, because you've only gotten married in the last 2 years and your husband hasn't been complaining or finding a problem with you helping your sister from time to time, but you have to realize this. Eventually, he's not going to be happy with the fact of, supporting his household and supporting your sister. He may help you do some things for the children, but he's going to want your sister to stand on her own 2 feet. So you're going to have to take a step back, and your mother's going to have to realize that you work very hard to get to where you are right now. If she works very hard, she will get where God is taking her also. Now, having said that, let me say something to you. Your job is not to support her financially. Your job is to encourage her emotionally. And what I mean by that is encourage her to expand her career options. Encourage her to spend less money doing the things she wants to do and spend her money doing the things that she needs to do. She's underemployed right now. She needs to change that. She needs to make it a point to begin working diligently to accomplish what she wants to accomplish. She has never said to you, if you will loan me money, it will sustain me until I can get this new job that I'm preparing for. She's never said to you, she's got a new job offer and she's having a little bit of a financial strain. Can you help me out? All she's done is ask you for money to do maybe some of what needed to be done because she had been doing what she wanted to do. And now, and she's, it happens so often. And now she is asking you for money again to do more of what she wants, not what she needs. And what she needs to really focus on is building a career, starting a job and maintaining the job. The reason she's working part-time right now is because she left the job that she had previously. So this is a cycle for her. And if you allow her to continue depending on you, that's going to be part of her cycle. She'll leave a job knowing that she has you to depend on. If she comes up short on her rent, she's going to call you and ask you to pay for her rent. Can you give her money for her rent? If she's short on her car payment, she's going to call you up and ask you to give her money for her car. She's got to be willing to take some responsibility for her life and for building life. Because that's what we're all doing. We're building a great quality of life. The reason we work to be successful is so that we can have a great quality of life. That's what we should be doing. And every step of the way, we should be working to improve and enhance that quality of life. Not become stagnant in, this is the way it's always been, woe is me, and not trying to do anything different to get to the place that God has purposed for our lives. And so I'm going to encourage you, be strong, be still, let God do in the life of your sister what he's doing in the life of your sister, and let God do in your life and in the life of your husband what God has planned for you. Because what he has planned for you is good and not of evil. He has an expected end for all of us. So I'm just going to encourage you, because family dynamics can be very complicated, but they only get more complicated when we allow them to be more complicated. Success guilt is a thing for many people, but you cannot allow your success to become a burden because you feel guilty about someone else not maximizing their success. And it doesn't matter who they are. The goal for every one of us should be to become successful, maximize our success, experience the fullness of God, and maximize the fullness of God. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers. Okay, so you said that you had previously heard me provide dating advice. Well, no, what I provided was a revelation from God about dating. You said, however, you are on a dating app and you've been matched with someone that you would be interested in going out with. Okay. And you want to know, how does the dating advice you said that I've provided, how does that match up with you being on a modern day dating app? So let me say this. First of all, I want to be clear about this. I am not giving anyone dating advice. What I'm giving you is a revelation from God. Now, the revelation is this, and I've said this many times before, and I'm going to continue saying this until we all get it. Dating was not designed for the purpose that people use dating today. The app is only for compatibility. So it's okay if you're on a dating app. It's okay if you see someone or they match you up with someone that you're compatible with. But you still have to follow the revelation. And that is, if the world is telling you you're compatible with them, the only way you know for certain if you are compatible with them, according to the revelation of God, is to ask the right questions. Will you take me to church and out to lunch next Sunday, and the Sunday after that, and the Sunday after that? 3 consecutive Sundays. And let me tell you what that looks like. You ask them, will you take me to church and out to lunch? I don't want to go to dinner. I don't want to go to sporting events. I don't want to I don't want to travel anywhere. Will you take me to your church and out to lunch? And if he says, I don't attend church, then invite him to your church and out to lunch. For him to take you to lunch. I want to make sure I'm clear on this. You're not asking him out for lunch. You're responding to his request to go out. What you want to do is you want him to come with you to your church, and then you want him to take you out to lunch. And you want him to do that for 3 consecutive Sundays. Now, if for some reason he has a career that requires him to be in the office or to work on a Sunday, you may have to do this over a 6-week period instead of a 3-week period, meaning he takes you to church and lunch this Sunday, next Sunday while he's at work, you won't go. The following Sunday, he takes you to church and out to lunch. This will allow you both to begin discussing your life plan. What does your life plan look like? What is it that the two of you want to accomplish for your life? What's the 7-year plan? What's the 14-year plan? What's the 21-year plan? You can do that over a 3-week period. And that will ensure that your mind is focused on what God wants for the two of you, not what you two want to do to entertain yourselves. The problem is people don't want to take the time to go to church and out to lunch and get to know someone. You know, men want to take you out and bed you down. Women want to go out and catch a bag. So this is what's going on in our society today. And I know because I hear it over and over again. This is what's going on in our society today. And none of that is going to lead you to a successful relationship. What it will lead to you is companionship, sport dating. It will give you something to do. It will become social. None of that is going to lead to a great quality of life. That's only for pleasure. Whatever that pleasure may be for either of you, it's only for pleasure. What you have to do is take advantage of the revelation that God has provided, because dating was designed to set a date for marriage. Dating was designed for you to lead you to the altar for holy matrimony. That's what dating was designed for. It wasn't designed for anything else. And then once you get to the altar for holy matrimony, you say your vows before God, and God willing, you have children, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. That's what dating was designed for. That's why it's called dating. Doesn't matter what anyone else tells you, but that's what dating implies. That you are getting to know someone to form a relationship that will lead to an engagement, that will lead to holy matrimony. That's what it's designed for. For you to set a date. However, people are not using it for that purpose. They're using it for entertainment. They're using it for fun. They're using it for sport. Whatever it is. So we've got to do something differently if we want to get the result that God has for us. So, it's not a problem that you're on the dating app. It's a problem if you don't follow the revelation. Because the dating app says the two of you are compatible. And the reason it says that is because it's calculated algorithms that say you both like to go out to eat, you both like this type of sport, you both like to travel, you have things that you enjoy in common. But they may not bring you the joy of holy matrimony. They won't bring you the joy of marriage because it's not being marriage-minded. We've got to make certain that we're trying to be successful in relationships and maximize the success of those relationships. So, you've heard me provide this revelation before. Someone's interested in you, you're interested in him. If he tells you he doesn't have a church, invite him to your church. If he tells you, I don't go to church, but he still wants to take you out, tell him, thank you very much, but I'm going to pass. Because if he's not going to church and he's not following God, he cannot lead you. If he's not interested in expanding his relationship with the Lord, he cannot expand a relationship with you. There's going to be toxicity, there's going to be drama, it's not going to be a great quality of life. That's what you have to want, a great quality of life. So I say all of that to say that it's real important that we follow this revelation that God has provided, because we want everyone to have a great quality of life. So as what God has given to me, I'm giving to you. Just make certain that you follow the word of God. Make certain that you recognize that God wants you to have a great quality of life. When Jesus said, I came that you might have life and I have it more abundantly, that's exactly what he was saying. I want you to have a great quality of life. Only we mess it up. He came for us to have that. We mess it up. So let's get back to the basics and let's get back to focusing on the relationship that the Lord desires with us and that we should desire to have with him. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything a man could possibly need. I'm in Charles Tyrwhitt attire today, and if you are not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK. They also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. They have everything you could possibly need. Home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. And if you're not in New York, you can order from the White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated you are 48 years of age and you said you're having a difficult time with dating. You want to know why it is so difficult to find a man who wants to date a mature woman. The answer is simple. Stop looking. Start preparing yourself for the person God has searching for you right now. See, there's a man out there right now. You're trying to locate someone that you can date. It's not your job to be looking for him. It's his job to be looking for you. And God is preparing him, but God won't send him until you're prepared. If there's a godly man searching for you and you're not prepared to be in a godly relationship, why would God allow him to find you? Because he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. So we're all looking for a good thing. That's what we're searching for. So that we can have favor of the Lord. But we can only find that good thing if we find a wife. Not a girlfriend, a wife. Sure, the girlfriend becomes part of the path to a wife. But we're not looking for girlfriends. We're looking for wives. Men are looking for a wife. That's what they're searching for. And if you prepare yourself and stop looking, you're spending all of your time looking, so you're not preparing. If you prepare yourself, God will send the one that he has assigned for your life. You're trying to date younger. You're trying to date men who are your age group, and none of it's working for you. And the reason is because you're looking. And you don't need to raise a son. You don't need that. You need a man. At 48, you need a real man. And I don't care what people say about, no, you don't need a man. No, you need a real man. Because otherwise, you will be alone. And it's not good for man to be alone, man or woman, to be alone. God joined man and woman together. You're not meant to be alone. But you have to prepare yourself so that God can send the one that he has assigned for your life. You don't want just anybody showing up. When you're not prepared, anybody will show up. Once you're prepared, the man God has for you will show up. And that's what you want. You are a mature woman in age, but you want to be mature and prepared for the godly man God has appointed for your life. So just be still. Just continue being you. Continue preparing yourself for the man that God has searching for you right now. Today's Daily Divine Direction 3D has been brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you, and may God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. And we